Hello all, this is a final video on a context for the chapter 6, that is tool support for the testing, and this chapter we hold 4 marks. All right. So in this video we are going to see about the pilot project for introducing a tool into organization and success factors for the tools. These two topic we are going to cover in this video. I guess you are very good enough on understanding from the test tool consideration until the principles for tool selection, right? So here this is the two. So before entering into the content, I'll just want to share my thoughts so that you can, it may be easier for you to get at the time of context, right? So what is pilot project? Pilot projects. Pilot projects is kind of a POC, proof of concept projects. Pilot projects. So very simple. Pilot project is, say for example, if you are working in a small organization and small or medium organization, you got a project from um, joint organization, that is a tier 1 or tier 2 company. So they are a bit hesitating to accept your offer. Like for example, from your company, maybe the I said, say for example, this is ABC is a company, and here this is a company called XYZ. Your company is XYZ, it's a small company, and they are a tier 1 company. So now they want, the ABC company want a person from XYZ. They want to work, make them to work in a ABC company. All right. So for that, what they can do is they'll take two resource or three resources. Say consider two resources. So they want the two resources has to work in this company for a fixed term. Say for example, 3 months. In the 3 months, they'll give a project to complete. If they successfully completed the project, then this ABC company can ready to provide a project of 3 years or more to the XYZ company. So now the XYZ company, these two resource has to prove themselves they are competent enough to complete the project given by the ABC. So the task they are handling, right, that is called pilot project. That's it. All right. So it's very simple. Similarly, if you are working on a team, so this pilot project concept is over. All right. Now, if you are working on on a company, in your team, your manager is insisting to work on a new tool, and he is telling you have 1 week of time. You can explore as much as possible. If you find any difficulties, you can report to me immediately. That's what his wordings is. All right. So that is, there is a time your test manager has taken the tool for the pilot purpose. So the 1 week, in the 1 week, you have to give the feedback. Like you means, like you have your 10 or 12 in your team, right? So you all has to give the feedback saying that whether the tool is okay or not. If it is okay, then your pilot is okay. Your pilot uh, duration went well and it is okay. If it is not, then same, your pilot execution has been over and your team is not satisfactory, or you are not finding the tool better, so that you are rejecting that tool. So that's what the pilot is. All right. So pilot project for the introducing a tool into an organization. I hope you are understanding about this pilot project. Let's enter into the explanation part with context to the ISTQB. See the pilot project for introducing a tool into organization. See here, after completing the tool selection, so now the tool has been selected. The manager has selected the tool based on the principles that we have discussed in the last video, right? And successful POC, that is proof of concept, introducing the selected tool into the organization, generally starts with the pilot project. See, which has the following objectives. So in the pilot project, what are the objectives we have? Gaining depth knowledge. So I said, right, 1 week. So it's not like 1 week, maybe one month or even a 1 year. It's not, the timing is not a matter. The objective matters. The objective is gaining in-depth knowledge. That is the first one. All right. Then so knowledge in the sense both strength and weakness about the tool. Then evaluating how the tool fits with the existing process. That's what the previous video I have explained. So if you are already following on test process and you introducing a new tool, so how for these two will be compatible, so that also needs to be assessed. Designing on the standard ways of using, managing, storing, maintaining the tool and the test product. So it's a very simple. It's the same. You are storing, managing, or like a SVN or PTC like that, right? I said or doors, whatever it is. So you are testing, you are evaluating the tool. So that's what you are evaluating the tool. The second point is here, evaluating the tool, right? Then third one is your as at the time of evaluating or the time of usage you are gaining in-depth knowledge, right? So both strength and weakness. So that's what the 3 point. Then fourth one is assessing whether the benefits will be achieved in a reasonable cost. Yes, of course. See, for example, if you pay 10,000 bucks, you can get, can get very good food. But is it reasonable? Definitely not. All right. So like this, maybe the service you are getting is fine, but is it really at a reasonable cost? That matters a lot. All right. Then understanding the metrics that you wish the tool to collect and report, the configure the tool, these metrics can be captured and reported. So it's a very important point to understand. Say for example, most of the human psychology, say for example, if you're going and purchase, if you want to purchase something, before going for a purchase, in your mind you will have something in your mind. It should be like a sun. But once you entering into the market and by the sales guy, he'll explain everything. At the end you will buy a moon, not sun. So that's what you should not forget, or you should not leave your scope. That is the understanding the metrics, whether the tool is been giving you the proper definition or the scope to satisfy your project needs or not. The example why I have given is because most of the techies feel uncomfortable if I completely explaining the technical stuff. That's what I have given. So if you are not feeling comfortable with these kind of example, you can ignore this part. All right. So it's a kind of a layman terms. So that's all about this pilot project, introducing the pilot project needs. So it's a very simple. First one is understanding the metrics and gaining the depth knowledge, then evaluating how the tool fits, then the cost, it's a reasonable cost, and finally using, managing, storing. So I just said in a reverse way. All right, what I explained here. So management, then how you are checking, evaluating, that is it, the tool fits or not, then how the cost is, then understanding the metrics. Overall you are gaining the knowledge, in-depth knowledge. You have to understand the strength and weakness of the tool. So that is these are the five things you have to you are doing in your pilot project if you have a situation to work on. So success factors for the tool, say for example, so after your pilot, no, the tools has been successfully it satisfied you 99%. So next what will be the move? So next is rolling out the tool to the rest of the organization incrementally. So for example, now in your one team you are using, so if the similar kind of team you have around 20 teams in your organization, you have to introduce the same tool to one by one team. So the next week there will be another two teams will be using, then next month there will be another four teams they will be using. So like this at the end, most probably whoever is working on the similar project, they all should use, so that the tool usage, that is called the efficient usage of tools, adapting and improving process to fit with the use of tool. So even though so because now we found the tool is super, the tool is a king now. All right, so now the tool is king, and we are adding 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus teams to use the tool. So that is a first objective, I mean the first success factor. Second one is adapting and improving the process. Say for example, here I said 20 teams are working and we are adding. So what about the remaining teams? Why we are considering they are not uh, able to, or they are not cope up with this tool. Why? Because there may be some drawbacks. So we can try to figure out the drawback solution for the drawback, and we have to improve and adapting the tool to remaining teams as well. All right, so instead of 20 you can add again another 5 also, 5 teams. So that should be also a progressive way of going ahead, providing training, coaching and mentoring for the tool users. Yes, so there should be, as the tool is new to the organization, definitely there should be more trainings, coaching, mentoring for the tool users. Defining the guidelines, and the guidelines also should be proper. You have to, example, if the guidelines it follows the international standards, for the automation, definitely you have to follow those. Implementing a way to gather usage information from the actual use of the tool. So again, gathering as a, so that is called the last point they meant. So providing a support and the gathering a lesson learned. So you gathering the information means, say for example, what are the issues we are facing or other solutions you are getting, that everything has to be documented. So it will be a very good for it will save a lot of time, because if one person face some problem and he spent 2 hours of time, okay, so the same problem may be faced by the another person, and he'll also spend 2 hours of time. So that should be eradicated. If as soon he faces the problem and he get a solution, he have to update in the lesson learned, so that this person will save his 2 hours of effort. So this is the productive way of using not only productive way of using tools, this is a productive way of behaving in your IT industry. All right, so monitoring tools use and benefits, so this is very common. So that's all about the success factors. All right, so these seven are the success factors. um, on a simple, if you have a good, if you have sweet good sweet, what you'll do, you just celebrate with others. The same you have to do. You have to give to the rest of the organization. You have to improve the compatibility. You have to train, means not you have to train, the team should get trained. Then the guidelines has to be followed, then they have to follow the information, or they have to gather the information. And that's all about this video, and that's all about this chapter. And after this we'll have so many exercise on this chapter, the questions related to this chapter. So maybe in the next video you can see some exercises on the chapter 6. We'll get back to you in the next video. If you have any queries, please feel free to clarify, so that you can also clear your doubts then and there.